Welcome to your yoga class for the full moon in Aries coming up on the night between October 6th and 7th. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. My name is Natasha, also known as Nurse Natasha, and we're going to get a little fiery flow on for this full moon in Aries. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the full moon in this class. If you want like the full lowdown on this full moon, I will have a what you need to know in tarot reading as well for this full moon in Aries here on my channel. I always put out full free yoga classes and tarot readings for every new moon and full moon on my channel, so you can check that out. Every time I start filming, Miss Honey decides to come down and see what's going on. This is Miss Honey. You might also see an appearance by my dog Jack, who is an Aries. But you know, the energy of this Aries full moon is a little bit explosive, as you might imagine with a fire sign like Aries. This is also a super moon, so this is the first of 3 super moons happening. So the next 3 full moons will be super moons. So we are really going to feel this. This one is also really impactful because we have Mars in Scorpio. So Mars is our planet that rules Aries, planet of action and passion and anger and war and all these things, is in Scorpio. So it's kind of intense. And again, super moons, they're a little bit closer to Earth. We feel them a little bit more. And this is also the final major lunation in this crazy eclipse season that we just had. So our new moon that started this cycle was a new moon solar eclipse. So we are still kind of just barely in that eclipse energy. We're kind of in like the shadow of the eclipse basically. And this full moon in Aries is going to be the final huge release and illumination that clears that energy out. So expect a major release, expect just major kind of explosive energy. Of course, Jack has to come now. This is my little Aries baby. You know, if you hear him barking, it's just, you know, it's the Aries energy of it all. He likes to bark at everybody that walks past our house. But yeah, so this Aries energy is very explosive. It is very, you know, full moons are about releasing. It is also very like a warrior energy. We're going to be working through the warrior postures of Virabhadrasanas in our class today. You know, it's just this fire energy. It's our solar plexus. Aries in the body rules our solar plexus chakra. This is our chakra of fire, our inner power, our personal power, our confidence. Aries in the body also rules our head and our face and our blood. So we're going to kind of tap into that as well. We're just going to build this fire, and we're also going to get grounded. You know, I think with this really explosive full moon energy, we do need a little bit of grounding. And then we're also in Libra season, so we're going to kind of do a little bit of balancing as well. And Libra season is the balancing and the weighing of the decisions. This Aries full moon is going to be making the choice, making the decision. Let it go, let it burn, set boundaries, cut off what needs to be cut off, stand up for yourself. You might be getting a little angry, passionate, like, you know, it is a very kind of combative, conflictive energy, but you can do a controlled burn. That's kind of like my theme for this full moon, is like controlled burn. If something needs to be released from your life, you can do that in a healthy, positive way. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. Jack is going to be my little helper today, I suppose. So we're going to get started in a seating position. If you want to have blocks for your practice or any other props that you need for your practice, go ahead and grab them. I'm an accessible trauma-informed yoga teacher, so this is all levels friendly. I want you to do what feels best for you and your body. Do what feels good. Everything I say is an option, not an order. So yeah, we're going to get started in an easy seated pose. Now that means something different for everyone. So you sit in a way that feels comfortable for you. If you want to sit on a pillow or a block or a bolster or a blanket or anything, maybe take a moment to scooch some goodness out from underneath you so you can feel those sit bones on the mat get really grounded. You can sit with your legs crossed, legs extended, whatever feels right and good. And we're going to settle into our mats here. Now you can have your palms facing down for that grounding energy. You can have your palms facing up to receive, or my favorite, one up, one down, little as above, so below, a little bit of both. And wherever you are, we're going to just start to come to our space. We are going to practice some Ujjayi breath at the beginning of class and kind of incorporate it throughout our class. And this is our victorious breath, a warrior's breath. It is a very fiery, kind of warming breath. So we're going to work on that a little bit at the beginning of class. I'm going to talk you through how to do that, and then we're going to kind of incorporate it through our flow. So just listen to my voice. We're going to breathe together and take a moment of mindfulness. So you can come to your space. You can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever feels good. And for now, we're just gonna bring our awareness to our breath. We're not changing anything about it just yet. We're just kind of noticing our breath as it goes in and out. Using your breath as a tool to bring you to the right here, the right now. Maybe noticing what happens in the body as you breathe. So on the inhale, maybe the shoulders rise, the chest expands, the belly expands, we take up space. And on the exhale, a gentle release, a gentle grounding. Maybe you start to breathe a little deeper here, really deepening and lengthening those inhales and exhales. And just practicing a moment of mindfulness here as you breathe, just asking yourself, how do I feel? What's going on? Just doing a little check-in. Check-in of the mind, the body, the soul, a little inventory. Ask yourself how this energy is showing up for you. What are you feeling? How is this Aries full moon energy showing up in your life? And we're practicing non-judgment, non-attachment. We're just kind of noticing these things. If you maybe find any tensions, blockages, constraints, you find yourself maybe getting too attached, we take a big inhale in through the nose, filling up chest, filling up belly. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Now again, bringing that focus to the breath. We're going to start to work on this Ujjayi breath, this victorious breath. So our Ujjayi breath is in and out through the nose. But we're closing the lips and we're kind of making this rumble in the back of our throat. The way I like to describe it is kind of like Darth Vader breathing, or as if you were trying to fog up a mirror, but your mouth is closed. So you inhale in through the nose and you exhale out through the nose, but you make this kind of audible feeling growl in the back of your throat. So inhale in, exhale. I don't know if you can pick up that on the audio that I have here, but it's an inhale and an exhale. You can feel that warmth in the back of your throat. Again, like you were trying to fog up a mirror, like, but your mouth is closed. So we're going to continue that a few more times, inhaling in. Do this about 5 more times. Very powerful breath. Kind of like your heaviest sign, but with your mouth closed. Now you can continue that Ujjayi breath throughout your practice. I will cue it throughout your practice, but it's really going to help us build warmth. It's going to help us build this inner fire and just feel that heat building in the body. Now as you continue with this Ujjayi breath, we're going to keep breathing and we're going to invite in some movement here. So we're going to inhale here, exhale, drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Just starting to invite in some gentle movement here. Maybe keeping with that Ujjayi breath if it feels good, but you totally don't have to. Inhale, head comes to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, center, exhale. You can drop your chin to your chest. And we're going to start to shake the head no here from side to side, very slowly, very exaggerated, looking over one shoulder and then the other. And again, maybe we continue that Ujjayi breath here. That breath of fire. And as you shake your head no here, I want you to say no to whatever it is you're trying to release. What is no longer serving you. What has to go, what gotta go under this full moon in Aries. I want you to say no to it here as you shake your head no. Gently coming back to center, chin to chest. Now we're gonna nod the head yes. Again, very slowly, very exaggerated. Dropping the head back, lifting the chin, opening up the throat. And then the head comes forward, chin to chest. Same thing, tapping into that Ujjayi breath here. And now we're saying yes. You can manifest under this full moon if you want some fire, some explosive energy behind it. So what are you saying yes to? Yes to setting boundaries, maybe yes to standing up for yourself, yes to expressing yourself. Whatever you want to say yes to, you can do it here. And now as we continue to nod the head yes, we're going to kind of get the whole body involved in this. So when you lift the chin up, dropping the head back, maybe you squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you, press the chest forward, arch the back. And now maybe when you tuck the chin to chest, you dome out the shoulders around the spine. And maybe we continue that Ujjayi breath, so inhaling as we open the chest, and exhaling as we round. A little seated cat-cow here, warming up the spine. You can do 5 to 10 more of these on your own breath, linking your breath to your movement, and you can make this as big or as small as you want. So maybe kind of get the whole body involved. Maybe you take some full body circles here. Tapping into that Ujjayi breath, tapping into that flow, that fire inside, and doing what feels good. Gently finishing up this last round, returning to a neutral spine. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, drop this right hand down to the mat. Take a side bend, so reaching that left arm over, opening up this left side body, keeping the chest open to the ceiling. And again, tap into that Ujjayi breath here. Really breathe into that left side body and that space from left hip to left rib cage. Continuing to build that inner fire. On the inhale, coming through center. Exhale, you can drop that left hand, reach that right arm over. And again, we're breathing into this right side body, keeping the chest open to the ceiling. And nice big deep inhales and exhales here. That Ujjayi breath. And gently on the next inhale, you can return to center, and exhale here. We'll transition to a tabletop position, taking your time, moving with intention, coming to the hands and knees. I love how calm Jack is being right now. Usually the Aries energy is strong with this one. We're coming to our hands and knees, shoulder, elbow, wrist are stacked. We're going to go into our cat-cow and our table here. So we're going to inhale, lift the chin, open up the heart, maybe arching the back, sticking the booty out. Exhale, Ujjayi breath. Round the spine, dome out the shoulders. Inhale to open. And exhale, Ujjayi breath to round. Now again, you can continue this on your own breath, linking your breath to your movement. 5 to 10 breaths here. Maybe still tap into that Ujjayi breath and do what feels good. Do you want to take some full body circles? Do you want to rock from side to side? Ask your body what it needs and answer. Give it what it needs. You can finish up this last round and return to a neutral spine. We're going to warm up the core a little bit here, tap into that solar plexus energy. So we're going to do that with some balancing. So I'm going to lift my right arm, extend it out. Now option, you can just do the arm here if you would like. If you would like a little bit more, we're also going to extend the left leg. Active toes, active fingers here. We inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bend the knee, bend the elbow, crunch it in, maybe that Ujjayi breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Remember that Ujjayi breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Last time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you can release the hand, release the leg, you can shake it out. And we'll take it to the other side. So same thing here, we're gonna extend now the left arm. And again, you can just do the arm if that feels good. Maybe we also extend the right leg. Active toes, active fingers. We inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbow, bend the knee, squeeze it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, last time. Exhale, go ahead and release again. You can shake it on out. Now from here, we're going to transition to our downward facing dog. So I'm pressing my palms into the mat, taking an inhale. On the exhale, I'm tucking my toes, lifting those hips up and back, straightening the legs, pressing into my downward facing dog. And maybe we spend some Ujjayi breath here, so tapping into that warrior breath and spending some movement here. So maybe we pedal out the feet, maybe we shake the hips, shake the head. Do what feels good. And when you're ready, gently coming to stillness, inhale, gaze to the top of your mat, and exhale, travel there, whether it's taking some baby steps, whether you take a big old step forward into a forward fold here. We're gonna hang out in this forward fold for a second. Maybe you widen the feet to honor and make space for the belly and thighs. And maybe you sway from side to side. Maybe grab for opposite elbows. Maybe pet your dog if he's on your mat in front of you. He's such a good boy. And gently you can come to stillness, bring the hands to the shins, press into them. Inhale for a halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, you can reach and rise to standing. And exhale those hands to the heart center. Take a moment here in your Tadasana mountain pose. Find your breath, maybe find that Ujjayi breath. And find this moment of grounding, feeling the feet on the mat, maybe lift up all 10 toes and bring them back down. Remembering that no matter how fiery this full moon gets, we can kind of come back down to earth. All right, my friends, we're gonna flow through some half sun salutes, tapping into that Ujjayi breath. So we're trying to build some fire here. So we're starting in our Tadasana mountain pose. We inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, Ujjayi breath, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Ujjayi breath, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that 2 more times, remembering that Ujjayi breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, go ahead and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one here. Again, remember your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, my darlings, we're gonna do 2 more sun salutations, but we're gonna kind of do a full one with a vinyasa, but we're gonna take it really slow. We're gonna tap into that Ujjayi breath. So I am standing in my Tadasana mountain pose. I inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And this is where we change it up a bit. You can bring your hands to blocks or hands down to the mat. I gotta scoop back here so I don't put my hands on that. I'm bringing my hands down to the mat or to the blocks. Now options here. You can either step back into a tabletop, or you could step back into a high plank. You could also take your high plank from your knees. Wherever you are at, table, high plank, knees, we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now if you're in your high plank, you can lower down to your knees. We're going to lower all the way down to our bellies. So we're going to bend into the elbows. We're going to lower chest first. And then on the inhale, we're going to lift up into a heart opener, a low cobra, so just the head, the chest, the shoulders. Exhale, remembering that Ujjayi breath. Now on the next inhale, you can tuck your toes, maybe press up to a tabletop first, and then exhale, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, go ahead and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. That's kind of our modified sun salutation. We're going to do that one more time. I want you to take any variation that you need that feels good for you and your body. If you're like, I got this, I want to do my full vinyasa, go ahead. Or you can follow me for this modified version. Inhale, reach the arms up. Remember your Ujjayi breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Go ahead and plant those hands to blocks or to the mat. Step back to where you want to go, whether it's high plank or table or to the knees. Wherever you're at, we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe lower down to the knees and all the way down to the belly. Inhale for a heart opener, low cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, tuck the toes. Maybe we press up to a tabletop. And then exhale, find that downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, go ahead and travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here. Hopefully you feel that warmth rising in the body. Maybe you're feeling a little sweaty. Aries energy is also really great to start a workout journey or get moving. Also go to a rage room, you know. Breathing in this Savasana mountain pose, maybe tapping into that Ujjayi breath. All right, my friends, we're going to start to incorporate our warrior postures here. Because again, this Aries energy, Mars and Scorpio energy is a very warrior energy. So from standing at the top of my mat, I'm going to bring my hands to my hips. I'm going to bring my right foot to center. I'm going to step my left foot back, not super wide. Warrior 1 is a little bit shorter than the other Warrior 2. So my back foot's at a 45-degree angle, my front foot straight, my right knee bends over the right ankle, doesn't go past it, it's right over it. Hands on hips. You can square your hips to the center of the mat. Find this stable base, a stable foundation, and then inhale, reach the arms up. This is our warrior or Virabhadrasana 1. Now spend maybe 3 to 5 Ujjayi breaths here. Tapping into that inner fire. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, step back to the top of the mat. We'll take it to the other side. Hands on hips. Left foot comes to center. My right foot now steps back again, not super wide. Back foot's at a 45-degree angle and bending into that front knee. I'm squaring off my hips and my torso to the front of my mat. And then I inhale, reach my arms up, warrior 1. And I find my Ujjayi breath here for 3 to 5 breaths. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, step back to the top of the mat. You can shake it out. Now we're going to incorporate warrior one to warrior two. So standing at the top of my mat, hands on the hips. Right foot comes to center. Left foot steps back, starting with my warrior one again. So I'm bending into my front knee, squaring off my hips and my torso. Inhale, reach the arms up. Find your Ujjayi breath here. Now I'm going to take a nice big inhale here. Exhale, I'm going to open up my arms. I'm going to open up my hips, and I might even widen my stance a little bit. So now my back foot's going to come parallel with the short edge of the mat. Front foot stays where it is, knee is bent. Arms are open, hips are open. Gazing over my front fingertips. Again, finding the Ujjayi breath here. Making sure those shoulders aren't shrugged up to the ears. Bring them down if they are. And breathing in this warrior two. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, I step back to the top of my mat and take it to the other side. Hands on hips. Left foot to center. Right foot steps on back, setting up for my warrior one. Bending into that front knee. Squaring off the torso. Inhale, arms come up. Ujjayi breath. Nice big inhale in. Exhale, opening up the arms, opening up the hips, maybe widening the feet. Warrior two. Again, maybe bring those shoulders down from the ears. Find your breath here. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, we'll step it back to the top of our mats. You can shake it on out. Now we're going to add our warrior three. Now warrior three is a balancing posture, so you are going to be standing on one leg. If you need a chair or you need a wall to kind of help with balance, feel free to grab that or put yourself up next to a wall. So we're going to start from the top. So I'm starting at the top of my mat with my hands on my hips. I'm going to bring my right foot to center. I'm going to step my left foot back into my warrior one, bending into my front knee, squaring off. Inhaling, arms up. A few rounds of Ujjayi breath. Big inhale here. Exhale, opening everything up to my warrior two. Again, a few Ujjayi breaths here. Now I'm going to bring my hands to my hips. And I'm going to turn into a high crescent lunge. So what that looks like, my legs stay where they are, except my back foot comes up onto the toe, and I just square off my hips again to the front of the mat. So this is my high crescent lunge. Now to transition into our warrior three, we're going to put all of our weight into this front leg. You can keep your hands on hips if that feels good. I'm putting my weight into this front leg until I can hover this back leg off the mat. Now the goal here is to get the back leg straight. You can point or flex the foot. And I'm trying to hinge forward until my head's in line with my shoulders, in line with my hips, in line with my foot. Trying to get a nice straight line here. Now you can keep the hands on the hips. You can extend the arms overhead. You can even take airplane arms. But play around with it a little bit. Let yourself wobble, shake, fall. It's called yoga practice, not yoga perfect. It's okay if you fall. It's okay if you need to use a wall or a chair for balance. If you're like, hey, I got this, my balance is pretty good, maybe try closing your eyes and see what happens. Wherever you're at, we're going to tap into that Ujjayi breath for a few rounds. And then when you're ready to release, we do so gently. We inhale all the way up to standing and release that foot. And you can shake it out. Now we got to do the other side, my friends. So coming to stand into Tadasana at the top of your mat. Left foot's coming to center. Right foot is stepping back into my warrior one. Squaring off my hips and torso.
Inhale, reaching the arms up. Finding my Ujjayi breath. Nice big inhale in, exhale, opening up to our warrior two or Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure those shoulders aren't up to the ears. Find your Ujjayi breath here. Now you can bring those hands to the hips. We're going to shift into that high crescent. So I'm turning my hips back to square the front of the mat, coming up on my back toes, lifting my heel. And now I'm putting my weight into this front leg. And I'm starting to lean forward until I can maybe hover this back leg up off the mat. Engaging the core. Trying to find this straight line in the body. Maybe playing around with hand placement. Again, allowing yourself to shake, wobble, fall. Challenge yourself. Maybe close your eyes. Test your balance. Find that Ujjayi breath. And when you're ready to release, we do so gently. We come back to standing and we shake it out. I'm so surprised at how calm Jack is. If you've been here for a while, you know he's usually being a rambunctious little pup. You finally getting older, buddy? You want to relax? All right, my friends, we're going to take it down to the mat. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You can plant the hands, just gently step back one foot, step back the other until you're in a nice seated posture. We're going to do some seated folds here just to get a little grounded. We've done a lot of warriors. We've done a lot of Ujjayi breath. We've built that fire. Now it's time to cool it down. So first I'm going to bring my foot bottoms together to touch. I'm going to open my knees for my Baddha Konasana or my bound angle posture. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold forward. You know, we have that Mars in Scorpio. On the night of the full moon, Mercury also moves into Scorpio. Hey, Pookie. Scorpio is that water energy. Scorpio in the body rules the hips. And also Libra rules the low back, and Scorpio rules the reproductive organs. So all this sacral energy we're working when we do these folds. And breathing into this fold. And that Scorpio energy combined with the Aries energy, the Mars of it all, and also the emotions of it all. You know, it's funny, I think that Cancer and water signs get the bad rep for being like emotional, but I'm like, have you met an Aries? I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just like, it's passionate, right? Whatever the emotion is, they feel it. I say this is an Aries Mercury. So throughout this full moon and throughout this practice, if you find yourself feeling things, let yourself feel. You can cry, you can scream, you can laugh, you can whatever, whatever feels good. On the next inhale, you can gently come up. Now we're going to take a wide-legged fold. I just got to scoot so I don't get in Jack's way here, but you bring your legs as wide as what feels good. Doesn't have to be super wide. I'd probably go wider if I didn't have a dog, but we're coming to this wide-legged position. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, you can fold forward. I think this is the first yoga class Jack has ever just not barked in. Perhaps this is the answer to the Aries energy, is just calm down. Just relax. Oh. Take this nice little fall bandana. Little pookie baby. On the next inhale, you can gently come up. We're going to bring our legs straight out in front of us. And you can keep the feet wide so I want to make space for the belly and thighs here. We're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, good old-fashioned forward fold over the legs. Breathing here. You can release that Ujjayi breath if you haven't already, letting the breath return to normal. On the next inhale, you can gently come on up. Exhale here. Now we're going to take it back to our backs, moving gently with intention. Again, if you have a dog or a cat or a child occupying your mat, just be mindful. Coming back to our backs, I'm going to bring my arms out to a T position, drawing the knees into the chest. Inhaling here. Exhale, you can drop the knees over to the right, maybe gaze over the left shoulder, taking a supine twist. And just focusing on the release of it all here. Our twists are about releasing. I always like to imagine, when you wring out a washcloth, that's kind of what we're doing here in the body. Finding your breath here. On the next inhale, you can bring everything back to center. Exhale, drop the legs to the other side. Maybe gaze over the right shoulder. And again, same thing here. Just find that release. On the next inhale, you can return to center. Exhale, release here. If there's any final postures that you feel like you need for your practice, whatever it may be, if you want to take happy baby, maybe a shoulder stand, anything that feels right and good for your body, you can do so here, taking your time, moving with intention. When you feel like you're ready for your final Savasana, you can find any Savasana that feels good. I'm taking a Supta Baddha Konasana with my feet touching, my knees open to get into the hips. You can just lay out on your mat, arms and legs extended. You could bend into the knees, whatever feels good. Your hands can be on either side of you, palms facing up to receive, palms facing down to ground, or again, you can do one up, one down. You can keep the eyes open or closed, whatever feels good. And I encourage you to spend at least 5 to 10 breaths here in your Savasana, just taking a moment, maybe focusing on what you want to release under this full moon. This is where I will leave you, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful full moon in Aries. I do, again, have a full tarot reading and what you need to know about this full moon. For my members, I'll be doing a shadow work challenge at the end of this month. Stay tuned for more membership details. And that's all I have for you, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful, safe full moon, and I will see you next time.